ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about the bad habits that you need to ditch if you want to be successful. Those habits that are in the way of your future. It's true what they say, that habits determine our future. Good habits draw us closer and help us to build success, while our bad habits draw us off the path. They derail us. So knowing your habits is one of the most important things that you can do to shape your future. It's the simple law of cause and effect. There are so many bad habits that derail us from achieving success, from being successful. If I mention all of them, this will be a very long video. So what I'm going to do is to divide this video into two parts, because generally I cannot sit down and do a video more than 10 minutes. So you will have to bear with me. If your goal is to be successful in whatever you do, be it hustling, career, and everything in between, the sooner you can ditch these destructive habits, the faster you'll find that success. Ditch them today and watch your odds of success improve. Alright, let's jump right in. Habit number 1, you don't know what you want. You haven't set a life goal. Let's say someone asks you, what do you want? Let me ask you directly, what do you want? Where do you see yourself 1 year from now, 5 years from now? Do you have an idea? Do you have a clear picture? This is simply a question of what you really want in life. If you don't know what you want, it's going to make achieving success rather difficult, because you cannot simply plan for what you don't know. True success comes from knowing what you want, then knowing what you don't want and expressing it clearly. You have to know what you want, and you also have to know what you don't want. If you are clear about what you want, you will know what you don't want. If you are clear that you don't want a life of poverty, you will be clear on what you have to do in order to jump out of a life of poverty. So being clear on what you want is a great step. Decide what you want in life and be clever about it. Put in the hard work. Be willing to sacrifice what others want. Be willing to work like your life depends on it. It's about commitment and focus. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. Life is what you make of it. The second habit that is preventing you from achieving the success that you want ties in with the first one. It's letting everyone else define what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, other people will decide for you. If you don't sit in the driver's seat and drive, another person will drive you and you might not like the journey or where they take you. Put a stop to allowing other people decide for you. Don't let expectations and opinions of other people affect your decisions. Don't let the expectations and ideas of others limit who you are. It's your life, not theirs. Do what matters most to you. Do what makes you feel alive and happy. If you let others tell you who you are living their reality, not yours. There is more to life than pleasing people. There is more to life than following others' prescribed path. There is so much to life than what you're experiencing right now. You need to decide who you are for yourself. Become a whole being. Take back control and set healthy boundaries. Make your own decisions and own your own life and become successful. You can do it. The third habit that you need to ditch if you want to be successful is playing it safe. You are playing it safe. You hate taking risks, or you're probably fearful about the future. Let me tell you something. Playing it safe will never be as satisfying or bring the rewards that you need. You need to take risks. You need to go for risks. You need to get hurt. You need to make mistakes and have failure in the process. Don't be too timid about actions. Life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. A lot of times people look at the risk and ask, what are the odds that I'll succeed? Rather than look at the risk and ask, what's the worst that could happen if I failed? Exactly. What is the worst that could happen? Don't dwell on failing. So what if you do? The most important thing is to try. And if you fail, you try again. And if you fail, you try again and again and again. It's the choices you make along the way that make the journey so rich. So don't rob yourself of that experience. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. Habit number 4, you don't want change. I know lots of people in my life who actually fall in this category. They don't want change. Human beings, we are created to evolve. We are created to change. We are created to adopt. So if you don't evolve, you are in trouble. No matter your age, try to adopt new things, new technology, learn new skills, or try new ideas. If you don't, unfortunately, you are doomed to fall behind. Today, the world is moving and changing faster than ever, and if you refuse, you'll be left alone in the struggle. In order to be successful, you need to be open to learning and trying new things. This isn't to say that you jump on every bandwagon when something new comes along, but rather be open to new possibilities and willing to learn and try. Just try and then make a decision about whether the old way or the new way is best for you. It's only after you've stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to change, to grow, and to transform. The fifth habit that you must ditch is procrastinating. Procrastination. This one is obvious and it's a stealer of time. Procrastinating applies to multiple areas of our lives. That big project, it's not due for a week. Dreams, I'll start on them tomorrow. Or I'll learn to write in a few months. I'm just relaxing until then. Or I'll go back to uni next year. I still have time. Procrastination is not a friend of successful people. Some of us live by our phones, and every time our phone goes ding, start feeling itchy and unsettled because you're unable to check it right away. You know that feeling when you think your phone has just vibrated in your pocket, but it really didn't? That is a habit because you're constantly on the lookout for distraction. You're always like this. You're looking out for distraction. Opt out of these distractions in order to focus on something important. Try to keep phone checking to a minimum. You don't need to refresh your email every 30 seconds. Choose to forget your phone during the time that you're working towards your goals. Also, if you are the kind of person who loves hanging out with your friends, keep that to a minimum. These days, hanging out with people has become a luxury similar to a glass of wine. It's not intended to be done on a daily basis. Because of hanging out, you find yourself saying yes to things you actually don't want to do. Your gut is telling you no, you still say yes simply because you want to please the people you're hanging out with. So why aren't you listening? Hanging out is supposed to be enjoyed intentionally. It has to be intentional. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but time spent hanging out with people needs to be kept to a minimum. Find people you want to spend time because you're both working towards similar goals. The last habit that you need to ditch if you want to be successful is doing too many things at once, or what many people call multitasking. There is no such thing as multitasking. By splitting your focus on two things simultaneously, you are not doing yourself any favors. As the old adage goes, chase two rabbits or lose both. You are watching Netflix, you are checking Facebook, you are cooking, you're studying. What are you accomplishing? Or you have 10 projects going on at the same time. You're building this, you're building that, you're doing this, you're doing that. What are you accomplishing? Exactly. If you find yourself constantly switching between tasks or jumping at every interruption, then you, my friend, you won't be able to do your best work or truly focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking leads to errors and time wasted. You need to be focused if you want to be successful. Focus on one task at a time, one project at a time, and finish it. Don't feel like you must multitask because everybody else is doing it. Otherwise, you find yourself doing too many things at the same time, spreading your focus so thin that nothing gets the attention it deserves. The most amazing thing about habits is that they can be changed, which means that your fate is not sealed, and you can increase your own odds of being successful if you want to. Begin today to eliminate the habits that are standing in your way. Then discover the successful person you're meant to be. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.